Max Clifford, you're joking. Bloody hell. Oh my god. We're next, eh? Jesus Christ. Oh, sorry, just bear with me. Welcome to Reverse Screams. Yeah, sorry, had to do some. Nearly 20 years after his crimes in 1974, Ed Gein got not one but two films inspired by his life. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre and the Canadian film Deranged, which we're looking at today.
This is where the worst begins. This is where we must stop. For beyond is the work of madness. Death! The nightmare of insane murder and lingering death. Deranged.
To truly depict the crimes of Ed Gein, you need to go into some pretty dark territory, and Deranged does not hold back on that. While Texas Chainsaw Massacre got rightly applauded for creating an atmosphere of absolute dread without showing much on-screen violence, Deranged pretty much does the same way. And like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the production design here is exemplary in showing a festering, moulding homestead populated by diseased body parts, rotting flesh and boiled bones. The film was written and directed by Jeff Gillen and Alan Ormsby, with an uncredited hand by Bob Clark, who would later do Black Christmas. Bob Clark left the project because he found the subject matter to be a bit more mawkish, but never fear, because this is truly one of the great Canadian horror films. And it's a wonder why he took his credit off, because what he has here is just a film which has influenced pretty much every real-life serial killer film since.
Sometimes you don't want to believe what you see, but sometimes it's true. The story of a trail of butchery so brutal that newspapers refuse to print its horrifying details.
If there's one minor point with the film, and sadly involves a fantastic actor, is Les Carson, who later became Barry Convicts in Videodrome and numerous other David Cronenberg films, keeps appearing as a reporter, commenting on what you're about to see and establishing what is fact and what is fiction. This device seems wholly unnecessary, but I guess it must have seemed a pretty cool idea in the scripting stage. And you've got an actor like Les Carson's ability on display, you know you're in for a good time.
Herbert, that is so sweet and unselfish of you.
What does he want?
As he says, he misses the carnal aspect of our marriage.
Carnival?
Given it was a low-budget film for mid-70s, Deranged has had quite a patchy distribution in the UK. In the late 90s, Exploited put it out on VHS, minus the eye-gouging scene. Thankfully though, that scene of Ezra Cobb taking a spoon to the eyeball of a rotting corpse's head has been restored in Arrow Video's exemplary restoration of the film. Now, having only seen the film on a grainy VHS release and numerous clips from the DVD release on YouTube, it was great to finally see a proper HD restoration, and real love and attention has been taken by Arrow Films in showcasing this film for its absolute best. The soundtrack might be muffled in places, but generally this is absolutely fantastic, and it's probably even better than seeing it on the cinema screen back in the mid-70s.
For Mary, it was only the beginning. For Christine, it was already too late.
In terms of extras, you get a fantastic selection. including a chat with Lawrence R. Harvey from The Human Centipede 2 about the legacy of Ed Gein and his effect on cinema since. You also get a fantastic booklet, including notes from Stephen Thrower and a Rue Morgue piece about Ed Gein's influence on cinema since his crimes were committed in 1958. Given the tragic death of Bob Clark and numerous other principals behind the camera, it is unsurprising that you don't get too much in the way of audio commentaries. Thankfully though, a young artist who worked on a film called Tom Savini is more than alive, and he contributes audio commentary, which is a wee bit rough. Savini was just back from Vietnam, and this was one of the first films he got involved with. And so you're calling from a man who's been through some pretty heavy shit, and suddenly thrown into a low-budget film, so his memories are quite hazy, but when he remembers some truly fascinating details, it really does speak volumes.
For Dolly, the worst was yet to come, and only Mrs. Cobb knew what he would do next.
Not only is it one of the finest serial killer movies ever made, but it's also one of the most humane. Ezra Cobb is never meant to be terrifying, he's meant to be pitied. He's an absolute tragic figure, whose mother has domineered him so much it's like he's broken, and collecting dead body parts and killing women to obtain new ones is the only course of action.
Would you be a nice guy to still minimum high? Order a drink?
All right. If you tell me what kind to get.
Deranged also brings up numerous memories. When I first saw it, I was 18 years old, and I have a phobia about gag reflexes, so I hate things going in my mouth. Crack your own jokes there. But there's a sequence where he's feeding his mother before she dies this pea soup, and he really did make me throw up one time. So to see it in its HD glory, that's probably one of the few scenes I've actually turned away from in recent horror film history, because it just really does play to that level of sticking things in your mouth you don't want and having to throw it back up again. I actually think I'm about to evoke just thinking about it, but check out this film, it's absolutely fantastic. The Blu-ray is an absolute steal. this really is the definitive Blu-ray of Deranged.
When the horror becomes unbearable, it is too late to scream.